find somebody else, but I'm not the guy for it. Because here's what happened. This threat, and it is a threat, saying that you will do these things, or otherwise here's what you're going to suffer. This threat doesn't do anything to me. In fact, I see it as a plus, because there is information I want to get from the Integrity Commission, and they won't give the information to me. I want to know everything that they have on Mr. Paul East. I want to know about everything they have on the Prime Minister. I want to know about everything they have on all the people that they mentioned in their report. They won't give it to me. But a lawsuit now, when Mr. E says, well, I'm going to do it, then what will happen is that either he's going to sue them, or I'm going to drag them in, and I'm going to say, I got this from you guys. So now you give us the documents, and so I'm going to get the documents. And guess what? The whole world is going to get those documents. So now we're going to see what they have on Mr. Paul East and the others, including the Prime Minister. And it is going to be an interesting thing to watch play out. So I'm looking forward to it. So they sent me this, and I've spoken to attorneys in Jamaica, reputable attorneys in Jamaica, and they said, "Do you know what this is? This is an attempt to shut you up."
Clearly,
they said this is an attempt to shut you up, because if the information you got came straight from the Integrity Commission, and it's a public document,
correct,
then this is a waste of time.
They got some free advertising though.
Yes.
One company.
Indeed.
Not sure who going to hire them for their services. No, but they got some free advertising.
You know, Professor Furman, who taught me real property, he would tell us that when you enter into a lawsuit, make sure that you know your opponent's case better than your opponent. He said, just don't focus on your case. Make sure you know their case better than they know their case. So when you get into court, you can school them. And so, Kevin, bring up this document and now let's show the people what I said and what the Integrity Commission said. And Mr. Paul East, I hope you're paying close attention.
And so it begins.
No, it's not that one.
You had everything right at your fingertips. Oh, my connection went. My connection to your computer went.
That's it.
Yeah.
What was it? Oh, wait on it. Nope.
So this lawsuit, as I reconnect to Will's computer, ladies and gentlemen, this lawsuit actually stems from this document that we're going to be displaying right now, that we've been talking about for the past couple, let's say about 3 weeks.
Yeah, let me take it down while you talk. Yeah,
for about 3 weeks now we've been addressing this. Could be 4, since we got the document. Now, for those who have never been a guest, a classmate, a listener to this broadcast, there are a few things that ever since day one hold true. 1, a question is not asked without the answer already being known. Not by me. I'm not the one asking the questions. This guy here beside me is not going to ask you a question if he doesn't know the answer to it. Officially. As we're talking, casually, he might. But officially, not gonna happen. And the second thing is, we are not going to be discussing on this broadcast collectively something that we cannot support with the documents. And if there's one thing that we're known for, it is to show documents. We haven't fabricated any. We haven't doctored any, except to maybe redact information to keep parties confidential, or to highlight information Outside of that, you're getting it the very same way you'd get it if you requested it yourself. With that being said, now, Mr. Rattigan, I have to call you Mr. today, and Sir. Because please.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Counselor. Now, folks, what we're going to do, we are going to go through a report, and everything that I just read to you and you just saw from Mr. East's attorneys, judge for yourself. This is an IC report. Now, this came from the affidavit of Craig Beresford. Who is Craig Beresford? Craig Beresford is the Director of Information and Complaints over at the Integrity Commission. And his job is he receives all of the statutory declarations, and his job is to make sure that they're compliant with the rules, and then he certifies or he recommends certification. But if he finds issues, then the process is a bit longer, because then he's going to reach out to you and say, hey, there's information here I think that's missing. Can you please provide? And then they go back and forth. And then at some point, it's either resolved, or if it cannot be resolved, then he's going to recommend that an investigation be conducted. So in the case of the Prime Minister, and we all know the story, there is a case pending in the Court of Appeal. And this affidavit came out as a result of the lawsuit filed by the Prime Minister. And this one is in the Supreme Court, but there's a case pending right now. Now, what is an affidavit? An affidavit is a sworn statement, essentially. And it's saying that what I'm telling you is true. End of story. It's saying what I'm telling you, believe me, it's true. And it's coming from someone who should be believed. Whether you believe, you may say, just based on the position and his affiliation, is to be believed. So Mr. Craig Beresford did an affidavit, and he said, everything I'm telling you, believe me. And here in paragraph 2, what does he say? He said, the facts and matters deposed in this affidavit, meaning everything I'm telling you that you see in this affidavit, are connected to the affidavit or attached to the affidavit. Everything is true to the best of my knowledge, information, and belief. To the best of what I know, to the best of information I have, and to the best of what I believe to be true. So that's the first thing. Then he goes down to say here, he said that as part of my statutory duties, as part of my duties to look at these certifications, I may request information from the person who submitted the information, the statutory declaration, or I may do it through third parties. Why? To determine the accuracy of the statutory declaration. And here he's saying, as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, he said, I have acted impartially, meaning I have no bias. I wasn't doing anybody any favors. I've acted impartially, fairly, independently, and faithfully. Strong words, in accordance with the statutory powers and obligations I have as the Director of Information and Complaints under the Act with respect to Mr. Holness's statutory declaration. So he's saying, believe me, everything I'm saying here is true, and I have acted within the scope and the authority and the power of the law. with respect to Mr. Holness's statutory declaration. That's what he said. Now, what did he do? In addition to doing this affidavit, he had attachments to prove his point. He said, everything I'm going to talk about, Mr. Holness, you find it right here. I'm attaching all of these documents. Go read for yourself. That's what he's saying. Hold on a second. So now let's go to page 10. Because there was a report done. He mentioned it. He said there was a report done concerning the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. And there were some things that we found out that we did not know beforehand. And so we're going to tell you about them. But before we do that, let me show you. There's a page I want to show you. Okay, here we go. On page 35 of the Integrity Commission's report, they said we're looking at. You can see that, Kevin?
Yes, man.
If I go one about that, can you see that?
In its entirety, yes.
Okay. The first highlighted area, you see what it says? They said, here are some confirmed and unconfirmed associations of Mr. Holness. So they're talking about his friends and compadre, right? It's come below. First person mentioned is his sister. And then there's the second person is Ian Moore. Somebody that we'll talk about maybe next week or the week after. Look at the third name, the highlighted. It says Paul East, business associate, Canadian. That's a company we're going to get to. And it says Paul East is also associated with Carousel, a company, along with George Neal. Mr. East. Mr. East. Mr. East, take a look at that line. You see what the Integrity Commission is looking at? Not Rattigan, the Integrity Commission. You see what you're looking at? They could have said Paul East, business associate, Canadian, and that's it. But they went on to mention Carousel along with George Neal. Mr. East, I hope you're sitting down. So they were also looking at Donovan Williams right here. And they have a whole bunch of things to say about Mr. Williams. Then they talk about Patrick Bailey. They talk about person A who's involved with the drill. That person A is the person who is the beneficial owner of Meditech, that nobody knows who this person is. And they said, we want to know who this person is. I remember this was before the drill incident came to light. Then, all right, so let's go back up. So we see where they're looking at a whole bunch of people. And we'll show you where they actually say that. So we come to this. And I did mention this, people. Here we go. The title is Personal Loans and Advances. And they're talking about the Prime Minister now, right? Let me highlight this. As always in green. Personal loan and advances. And they're talking about personal loans made by the Prime Minister. Not loans he received, but loans that he made. And as we go down, what do we see? Right here. A personal loan was made to Paul East in 2010 in the amount of $2,382,141.82 Jamaican.